Source: Ayakashi Triangle.
祭り、息遣いも。なんだこれ。
The story begins with Suzu, a young girl on her way to buy some milk crepes from a food truck. As she approaches, the friendly lady operating the truck tells her about the day's special, Sakura Mochi crepes. Despite her initial desire for milk crepes, Suzu is tempted by the limited availability of the Sakura Mochi crepes, so she decides to get both. Unbeknownst to Suzu, a strange creature lurks nearby, observing her from the safety of a tree. The creature looks like a small, fluffy cat, but a peculiar purple aura surrounds it. This mysterious being is an Ayakashi, an enigmatic yukai beast invisible to ordinary people, existing like ghosts in our lives. Some benign, others capable of causing harm. The duty of an ancient order of exorcist ninjas is to protect humanity by eliminating these malevolent Ayakashi. As Suzu enjoys her crepes, the malevolent Ayakashi, with nothing but loathing inside, fixates on her, harboring sinister intentions. Preparing to strike, it checks for any witnesses, its purple glow intensifying. Just in the nick of time, Kazumaki Matsuri, an exorcist ninja from the renowned Kazumaki clan, appears to thwart the creature's malevolence. With incredible agility and skill, Matsuri launches darts, forcing the Ayakashi to retreat. The Ayakashi identifies itself as the Great Sharogane, arrogantly demanding recognition. A battle of taunts ensues between Matsuri and the creature. However, their confrontation attracts attention, and Suzu notices the commotion. She finishes her snack and rushes over to see what's happening, unexpectedly snatching Sharogane away from Matsuri, considering it a cute cat. Concerned, Matsuri warns Suzu that the creature is not as harmless as it appears, but she remains oblivious, insisting on taking it somewhere safe. The Ayakashi plays along, feigning docility, and Suzu feels a connection with the creature as it curls up in her arms. Before she leaves, Matsuri stops her, emphasizing the danger the Ayakashi poses to her safety, but she remains unconvinced. He's evidently weary of them, but she seems completely oblivious. Just then, Matsuri sees Suzu's thighs and is instantly stricken with love for them. He falls to his knees, entranced by the great holiness before him. He grabs her legs, praising them. Suzu kicks him away, calling him a colossal idiot and blushing furiously. However, Matsuri used a substitution technique to replace himself with an illusion that was actually a log. He boasts about his skills, but Suzu notes that he still has a bruise on his face, and he admits that he still took the hit so that Suzu wouldn't get hurt kicking a log. She sees that he's dressed in his ninja attire. She surmises that he must be going to do something serious, so tells him to be safe and good luck. As Suzu is biking away, she's telling the Ayakashi cat Shirogane about her past. You see, Suzu has been able to see Ayakashi since she was a child. However, since nobody else could see them, she was an outcast and often mocked by the other kids. She felt lonely and frustrated until she met Matsuri, who could also see them. He became her friend and his presence got her through a lot of dark times, but everything changed when the middle school nation attacked. Matsuri once enjoyed playing with the Ayakashi, but he now began to act up and try to keep them away from her. This made her really sad and she wondered what had happened to him. It was only until later that she learned this was because Matsuri agreed to become part of his grandfather's line of work, exorcism, and fighting evil spirits. Thus, he's grown used to spirits with not-so-innocent intentions. Suzu is pouting, saying that there are tons of good Ayakashi and that there's no need to hate them all just because a few are bad. The cat Shirogane is watching as Suzu keeps eating more snacks and comments on how she's swooning for Matsuri, saying she's obviously hopelessly in love with Matsuri. Meanwhile, Matsuri returns to his grandfather's place, where he's trained for 3 years at this point. Matsuri tells him about how there was a cat Ayakashi that he encountered with a weak spiritual presence who said its name was Shirogane. At this, his grandfather springs to his feet, only to immediately topple over due to his hernia. If its name is actually Shirogane, the old man confides, then it's actually the king of Ayakashi and was responsible for heinous acts throughout the land. Many legends have been written about its horrible presence. Some even worship it as a god. At this horrifying revelation, Matsuri runs off to save his childhood friend. Meanwhile, Shirogane has just told Suzu this same information, but she seems completely undisturbed. She's sitting on the steps of the shrine with the cat, petting him and making him blush due to her technique, though not in the way you're imagining. Shirogane says that he's being completely subdued by the Ayakashi medium, and these words seem to disturb Suzu. You see, as a spiritual medium, Suzu possesses immense amounts of spiritual energy. Through petting him, she's actually granting Shirogane greater power and even letting him access his real form, a demonic-looking giant tiger. He grows easily 10 times his size and towers over Suzu. Matsuri is on his way, and we learn more about mediums. You see, Ayakashi mediums are extremely rare and information on them is quite short, but their vitality causes powerful Ayakashi to chase after them, which often leads to their expulsion from society, since mediums are basically bait for evil Ayakashi. This is also why there are so many other Ayakashi around her. Not all of them want to devour her, but there are still those strong enough and willing enough to consume her. Matsuri's grandfather told him about this long ago, which is why he became an exorcist ninja in the first place. To protect his childhood friend, at the shrine where Suzu is sitting, she asks Shirogane if he's going to eat her. She accepts that she's an Ayakashi medium and wonders if Matsuri knew. Shirogane tells her that it may have been why he was cautious, but he was still too young to fully understand. Suzu realizes that this is what has made Matsuri grow so distant, and it looks like she's perhaps willing to forgive him. He knew that one day some Ayakashi would try to eat her and had wanted to protect her. Though I'd wonder why she isn't running, it's quite a touching moment. Shirogane is about to eat her when Matsuri appears. It's his first date, and he's definitely not gonna show up late. Matsuri and Shirogane engage in a brief fight, but it's clearly a one-sided battle, and a single blow from the creature shatters Matsuri's blade. Shirogane asks how Matsuri would know where Suzu was, and he replies, of course he would know, since he's known her for the longest. MC's theme song plays. He channels a heavy wind blast and punches the Kazumaki, sending him flying back and into the air. Matsuri then tosses a scroll into the sky, remembering how his grandfather warned him not to fight Shirogane front-on. His grandfather gave him a god-sealing barrier scroll, which required 30 years of energy to make. He casts this, and ribbons begin to wind around the Ayakashi, trapping him in a giant cocoon. This begins to suck the cat Ayakashi's energy into the scroll. Shirogane realizes in a meta moment that if he gets sealed, the two will likely kiss, and like a lover scorned, the creature is determined not to let that happen. Talk about petty. To stop MC from getting all lovey-dovey with Suzu, what do you think it'll do? Kill MC or Suzu? Send one of them into a deep sleep? Corrupt one of their minds? Make them forget the other? Nope. Instead of the sensible options, the crafty Ayakashi instead casts a spell that turns Matsuri into a girl. His body begins to change. He grows long white hair, and most importantly, getting 2 large melons that bounce around as he prepares to chase after Shirogane. When the dust settles, both are shocked and surprised, but Suzu immediately becomes fascinated with Matsuri's new melons, and they get really fired up about it. Meanwhile, Shirogane slinks away, most of his spiritual power trapped. He's wandering through a few alleys, scaring off dogs despite looking like a cat. The creature has been defeated, but he takes solace in the fact that he was able to stop them from starting a romance. Ah, the true victories in life. He swears that he'll return to his normal form one day and consume Suzu. At Matsuri's home, his grandfather, like any old folk these days, is shocked by Matsuri's melons. Your grandson survived a fight with the king of Ayakashi, and your first response is to point out his, or rather, her, giant melons. Priorities, fellas. The grandfather reveals that this is a secret art called Gender Swap Awakened. It's magic that even he doesn't get. Meanwhile, like most young men in his situation, is examining himself, or rather, herself in the mirror. She's become an incredibly well-endowed young lady, and she begins to play with herself in the mirror, massaging her own melons. As this is a comedy ecchi anime, Suzu stumbles in on this and calls her out on being lewd. There's quite a bit of unfortunate censoring, and the party crasher Suzu pulls out undergarments for Matsuri. As they mess around, Matsuri's grandfather sits on the doorstep, a weird look on his face. He tries to remain stoic, however, and remarks that they have no choice but to accept this situation. What an open-minded old fella. He says that Matsuri might need to give up on being a man. So should you watch this anime? It's got potential, but the characters fighting unseen threats is nothing new. I'd say the humor is alright and the gender swap was a long-forgotten spice. Also, this show reminds me of my favorite show, To Love Ru. In the morning, Matsuri Kazumaki is complaining to her friend Suzu Kanade. She doesn't want to wear a bra, but Suzu tells her she has to. Since her melons are so large, they'll bounce around too much if there's no support. MC complains it's a pain, but eventually relents. As she's fitting them on, Suzu grumbles to herself. It's a shame since nothing she has will fit MC. Matsuri's melons are too big. When MC hears, he asks her what's wrong, causing Suzu to exclaim that they need to hurry up. Meanwhile, grandfather Kazumaki sits on the porch, sipping tea. He remarks it's been years since Suzu came over to pick up MC for school. Just then, the door opens and MC leaves, dressed in a girl's school outfit. Grandpa blushes, while Suzu whispers she can't believe how cute MC turned out. Grandpa tells MC to keep Suzu safe and gives him a thumbs up. As they walk to school, MC says he never imagined he'd have to go to school as a girl. But thankfully, his grandfather knows the principal. They manage to get things figured out and have MC added as a new student. Suzu then says she's surprised MC got accustomed to her new body so quickly, to which MC replies that she's a ninja and they're trained to always be adaptable. Suzu agrees, but reminds her to not play with her body like she did the other day, which makes her blush. MC counters, asking what Suzu would do if she found herself in a guy's body. Suzu gets a funny smile on her face before saying she'd never. She then changes the topic to finding Shirogane, so they can get MC changed back into a guy, and they wonder where the cat ran off to. An Ayakashi drifts by, catching Suzu's attention, but MC quickly pulls out a treat to get her back on track again. MC tells her to get into the habit of ignoring Ayakashi, or a trickster like Shirogane might show up again and bait her into a dangerous situation. Suzu takes a bite of the sweet, instantly entranced by its flavors, and MC reminds herself to bring more sweets in the future. After walking for a while, they get on a bus. Suzu takes a seat near the front, watching in confusion as MC walks past, telling her to be careful before heading to the back to sit alone. Suzu peers at her friend, wondering why MC is sitting alone in the back. She remembers how she and MC drifted apart over the last few years, and considers perhaps asking for her number, but she finds it weird now that MC is a girl. At school, the guys are astonished by their new classmate and begin to talk about her looks. Suzu looks on, wondering what's going on. Even though she knows MC's grandfather placed them in the same classroom together, MC, a girl now, and in her class too. Suzu still can't get her head around what's happening. Suzu glances at her friend, thinking about going over to talk to her, but sees she's got a look on her face that said she doesn't want to act friendly at school. Someone then touches Suzu's thighs, eliciting a high-pitched squeal. It's Suzu's girlfriends. These two are Yayoi Toba and Lucy Tsukioka. Yayoi is hugging Suzu's thighs, stroking and nuzzling them while complimenting her, saying her thighs are a cut above the usual. Lucy, meanwhile, takes pictures of the pair, while MC watches from far away. She wonders if the girls always get this touchy. Just then, Suzu glances back and sees MC watching. MC looks away, but the other girls quickly catch on. Lucy takes a picture of her and said she has quite a unique look, while Yayoi excitedly questions Suzu about MC. Embarrassed, she tries to explain that MC is actually just someone she knows from her childhood. The girlfriends insist on talking to her because they think she's cute, and they're about to go over to her when MC gets up and runs out of the class, having sensed something nearby. Suzu chases after her, telling her friends she's looking for some treats before dashing out of the room. In the hallway, she runs into their teacher, Mazuro Sujimori, who yells, "Stop running." He tells her class is about to start, but Suzu keeps on going, worried about her childhood friend. It's revealed MC sensed Shirogane and is confronting him behind a nearby house. Shirogane wants the God-sealing scroll, promising to return MC to her original boy form if she gets the scroll back. MC rejects the offer, sensing that Shirogane would just go after Suzu again if he was released. Shirogane then tells MC about the sealing tower on Mount Kiboshi. 200 years ago, there were devastating Ayakashi attacks on nearby human villages, which resulted in the deaths of many humans. Today, the Ayakashi responsible for those attacks was sealed away at the Kiboshi Tower. Suzu, meanwhile, is running around looking for MC. Shirogane tells Matsuri he can break the tower's seal easily even in his current state, and then proceeds to summon the almighty Tadare, only for nothing to happen. Shirogane says it was supposed to take MC's scroll, but then there's a scream. Tadare was indeed summoned. However, it went for Suzu instead, trying to consume the medium. Tadare declares it'll replace Shirogane as the king of Ayakashi. As it goes to eat her, MC leaps in front of Suzu, landing nearly lip to lip on top of her, making her heartbeat go wild. Tadare swings at them, only for MC to jump into the air with Suzu before she casts her whirling sickle blade art, slicing the creature in two. It's a one-slice kill. Hiding in a nearby tree, Shirogane sees this, angry that his plan failed, but also surprised at MC's abilities. Matsuri sits with Suzu, telling her she was a bit careless and forgot to account for the possible existence of other Ayakashi. She can't be there all the time. They need other people to keep an eye out for Suzu, so they decide to meet with Suzu's other friends Lucy and Yayoi. As they roll over the incredibly cute MC, Suzu flashes back to MC, declaring she wanted to be a girlfriend to watch over her better. She's willing to do anything to protect her. Later, on the ride home, MC and Suzu sit next to each other and exchange numbers. It's obvious Suzu is glad she's finally able to be this close with MC again, while MC resolves herself to be the perfect girl in public so she can watch over Suzu better. The bus passes Shirogane, who's sitting on the side of the road. He cackles, muttering his next plan is already in motion. As the girls return home, MC asks Grandpa why he knows so much about Shirogane, and after a long sip of tea, he confides in MC about his relationship with the Ayakashi king. You see, Grandpa spent over a decade fighting Shirogane. The Ayakashi was so powerful and respected that many once worshipped him in a shrine of his own. But after a while, he changed. Shirogane became so violent and wild that Grandpa had to fight him. It's why he spent so many years preparing the God-sealing scroll. MC asks if a medium is really that desirable, and Grandpa speculates Suzu's life force is much greater than they could have imagined. It would explain why so many Ayakashi are going after her. At school the next day, MC tells Suzu about what he learned. You see, humans have Kan and Haku. Kan is spiritual energy, while Haku is physical energy. All humans have both of these, but when one has abnormally high Haku levels, they become Ayakashi mediums. If an Ayakashi devours a medium, it'll become incredibly powerful, just like athletes inhaling steroids. That's why both Shirogane and other creatures like Tadare all want to eat her. Suzu doesn't really get it, but she thinks she's being compared to a delicious dessert. MC leaves, annoyed that Suzu doesn't understand. Meanwhile, as some boys are using the restroom, chatting about their female classmates like all guys totally do, MC walks in. She's unused to being a girl. By the time she realizes this, it's already too late. Their teacher Majorelle bursts in, furious that MC once again went into a boy's bathroom when she's in girl form. MC protests it was just an accident. But her teacher isn't hearing any of it. Everyone remarks that MC is really dedicated to being a tomboy, while Suzu stalks off. At home, Grandpa observes MC is struggling more with being the girl than she was with simply protecting Suzu. It must be quite difficult for him. The two sit there, ruminating about their situation, before Grandpa excuses himself, saying he's got a meeting later to thank people for helping get MC into Suzu's class and smoothing over the problems there. MC bids him farewell, reminding him to take care of his back before going to take a bath. In the bathroom, funny shenanigans ensue as she tries to wash herself. She's not really used to her new body yet, and her smooth skin causes her to drop her sponge several times. Plenty of Shirogane sensors cover the screen. MC thinks about her new form and her relationship with Suzu, learning how to be a girl. For example, not spreading his legs when sitting, being careful about her skirt when going up the stairs. And of course, fastening the buttons on her shirt to keep her melons in. MC looks into the mirror, realizing for once that she has a really nice body. She's a guy at heart after all. She's looking down at her ravine, examining it, when Suzu suddenly knocks on the window. She's worried since Shirogane will likely come after the scroll, and MC tells her it'll be alright. She has the scroll with her all the time and will fight off Shirogane to keep it safe. In fact, it's in the bath with her right now. However, in a puff of pink smoke, Suzu transforms into Shirogane before stealing the scroll. MC was too distracted with her body to sense the cat. Shirogane runs off with the scroll satisfied. After all, a human girl would never chase after him while this rode, right? But unfortunately for him, MC is still a guy inside and leaps out of the house, sprinting after the rogue Ayakashi. Activating the powers of her choker, MC summons her gear and flings several demon wind shurikens at him. Meanwhile, at home, Suzu is massaging herself in her room, wondering at Matsuri's situation. She's seriously flustered and wonders what she should do now MC's a girl. There's a bang, as outside, MC's finally trapped Shirogane. Suzu runs out to stop this, since if Shirogane is exorcised, MC will never be able to return to being a guy, since the spell will become a curse. However, MC seems determined. After all, even if she stays a girl forever, it's still her responsibility to exorcise any creature that would harm humans and protect her childhood friend. However, Suzu jumps in front, grabbing MC's arms and telling her not to accept things so easily. He can't give up now. After all, if MC never goes back to being a guy, Suzu will never be able to live with herself. She comes that close to confessing her true feelings before MC breaks the awkward silence by declaring, since she can't exorcise Shirogane, she's going to keep him as a pet to make sure he doesn't do anything funny. Meanwhile, Suzu found herself alone in her room, indulging in some cakes, briefly pausing to contemplate Matsuri's consideration for her feelings and pondering how to repay him. A thought occurred to her when she remembered Shirogane's desire for her sacrifice. What if she offered something even more enticing? She wondered. Inspired, she headed to the kitchen, skillfully making dango while humming a tune. In the kitchen, her mother curiously asked about her journey, and Suzu shared her inspiration, crafting a substantial amount of delicious dango, which she believed would make Shirogane happy. Besides, even if it didn't, she could use that much dango as a shrine to Raiden Shogun. Meanwhile, MC lay sleeping on the bed, somewhat exposed, with his legs spread, clutching a scroll between his thighs. Shirogane sneaked in, aiming to take a bottle from him. MC, ever vigilant, woke up quickly, gripping Shirogane by the neck, reminding him that he remained alert even in sleep. As they exchanged tense words, a notification beeped on MC's phone from Suzu, inquiring about Shirogane's status. MC responded positively, prompting Shirogane to playfully suggest what his reply should have been. MC advised him not to tamper with the message. Later, MC's grandfather and Shirogane were discussing something in a room, and MC entered with food for his grandfather. He invited Shirogane to join them since he was now a member of their household. Shirogane protested being served leftovers, but Suzu came to the rescue with a special offering of delectable Suzu dango. Shirogane, though initially dismissive, soon found the dango irresistible and expressed his desire for more. Suzu promised to make it for him every day until he gave up on eating her. But Shirogane, ever stubborn, refused to back down and continued to pursue her playfully. As they watched Suzu and Shirogane chase each other, MC's grandfather commented on Suzu's fearlessness towards the Ayakashi that had tried to devour her, acknowledging her as an idol to many. MC was taken aback by the reference to her as an idol, but his grandfather clarified the metaphor, understanding the essence of her allure. Her grandfather told him that when he was young, he had been terrified of playing with the Ayakashi and idolized Suzu. The grandfather explained that she couldn't remain his idol and passionate fan forever. MC asked, "What are all these idols and fans about? After all, we'd hate to have another Ashi no Ko here, right?" "Of course not." His grandpa said he meant she would never get closer if she kept watching Suzu from the audience seat. A feather dropped outside their compound, and Mitsuri quickly went to check it out. Her father also came out to investigate and identified the feather as belonging to an Ayakashi. Another Ayakashi was out to get Suzu. The father told MC that it might not be necessary, as it could be a familiar Ayakashi serving one of their colleagues. Suzu asked if he was talking about exorcist ninjas, and the father expressed concern that it might spell trouble. At the dam, a very large monster emerged from the forest near the dam. The bird that dropped its feather mistakenly at MC's compound went to inform the monster and apologized for being spotted. The monster called her a knave fool, cautioning her about dealing with the Kazumaki clan and instructing her to be careful. The monster declared he must put an end to him. On the school premises, some girls asked Suzu and MC about the club they were joining. One of the girls suggested an occult club might be a good fit for her. "Are you by chance interested in our Lord and Savior?" They inquired of Suzu and MC, asking if they had made a decision yet. Suzu informed them that instead of joining a club, she was going straight home. MC also mentioned having other things to attend to. They asked MC what kind of job she was doing, guessing if she was a delivery girl, a bar girl, personal security, or a model wearing a bikini to snap pictures due to her beautiful body. Meanwhile, Soga had already arrived on the school premises and spotted MC Kazumaki. He recognized her, though her form was different, and approached her. MC's friends playfully grabbed her, and she seemed to enjoy it. Soga expressed excitement about the prospect of training together again since he heard MC was coming to the school. The Ayakashi bird appeared to him and called him master. He informed the Ayakashi bird about the target's whereabouts, the courtyard bench, where he was grooming himself without a care in the world. Soga expressed his willingness to let the bird kill the king of Ayakashi. The Ayakashi bird emphasized that Soga was its one and only master. A student crossed paths with Soga and was so terrified of him that he knelt down, pleading to be let go and even offering all the money he had. Soga declined the money and left him. The Ayakashi bird commented on how scary Soga's face appeared to the student, making him think Soga was a violent punk. In a quiet and cool place inside the school, the Ayakashi king sat on his chair, sighing as he contemplated the problem of having to keep a close watch on MC as long as he held the scroll. He decided to act like MC's pet and wait for an opportunity. Soga confronted Ayakashi and wondered if Soga could see him. Suzu and MC observed them from a window. Soga threw a sharp knife at Ayakashi, who swiftly dodged it, confirming that Soga could indeed see him. Suzu asked MC if he knew Soga from before. Soga introduced himself to Ayakashi Shirogane as an exorcist ninja from the Ninakuru clan, stating he would finish Ayakashi up in place of the spineless Kazumaki. Ayakashi Shirogane was surprised to learn Soga's identity and quickly fled. Soga chased after him, but MC intervened and questioned his actions. Soga expressed his disappointment in MC, reminding him of their first mission together 6 months ago when MC showed unwavering conviction against the Ayakashi terrorizing humans. Soga acknowledged his own mistake that turned him into a girl, but refused to let a dangerous Ayakashi live. He suited up and vanished, determined to finish off Ayakashi Shirogane. Suzu stood alone on the balcony, concerned that if Shirogane was killed, MC would remain a girl forever. She prayed that MC would bring Shirogane back alive. Oh, how the turntables! Ayakashi Shirogane continued running for his life, finding a quiet place to rest and wondering why Soga wanted to kill him. Soga appeared again, attempting to kill him with a knife. Shirogane evaded the attack and cried out for help. MC came to his rescue, shocking Soga. MC asked Soga if he would prioritize his own circumstances over his duties as an exorcist ninja. MC brought Shirogane back to Suzu, who asked if the Ninakuru person agreed to spare Shirogane's life. MC explained that the matter was on hold, and if Shirogane caused any trouble, he would likely be exorcised immediately. Suzu advised Shirogane to be a good boy from now on, but MC pointed out that it might be difficult for him as an Ayakashi. Suzu expressed surprise that MC and his grandfather were not the only exorcist ninjas out there, to which MC replied that they couldn't handle everything alone and that in their world, it was just them and Semple's family. Suzu mentioned to him that she realized she knew nothing about the exorcist ninjas. The MC assured her that it wasn't necessary to know about them. He informed her that their bus had arrived, and they boarded it. Suzu pondered to herself that if the MC had told her about Ayakashi and exorcism earlier, she could be more helpful. As they stepped into the bus, Ninokuru Soga observed them from the tree's top and remarked, "So, this is Suzu Kanade, the Ayakashi medium." Meanwhile, on the school grounds, a group of girls engaged in a lively discussion about their favorite movie. The MC stood behind them, engrossed in her phone. Curious, they approached her to take a look. In the process, one of the girls, Yahello, accidentally slipped and grabbed MC's rear end. Yahello immediately apologized, admitting it felt strangely good to her since she didn't expect the MC to be the fundoshi type. The MC, feeling uncomfortable with such familiarity, told her she didn't appreciate such touchiness. Yahello soberly lamented that the MC now must hate her and asked Suzu for advice. Later, Suzu found the MC outside the school and questioned why the MC couldn't be a bit more understanding with Yahello. The MC asked if he hadn't been polite with her. Suzu pointed out that he mostly stayed aloof from conversations with Yahello and Lu, always absorbed in his phone games. The MC sighed, confessing that he struggled with conversations with girls. Suzu asked what he talks about with guys, to which he replied that he's not adept at those either. She inquired if he was serious, and the MC explained that he spent his time playing with her and dealing with Ayakashi during his grade school days, leaving him little chance to make friends. Suzu revealed that she noticed his true intentions and that she had become his girlfriend to support him with Ayakashi. The MC assured her that she need not force him to befriend others. Suzu disagreed, and though he initially hesitated, the MC agreed to try. At that moment, Shirogane informed them that Yahello had been possessed by an Ayakashi. Both the MC and Suzu were astonished. On the school grounds, Yahello slipped and fell again while walking with Lu. Lu caught her, and Yahello brought up the incident with the MC. Lu jokingly suggested that if someone did anything similar to her, she'd call the cops. Yahello decided she would apologize to the MC when she next saw him. Suzu asked the MC how Yahello could be possessed if she couldn't see Ayakashi. The MC explained that weak Ayakashi could possess normal people without triggering his pinwheel. Suzu inquired if the weak ones were harmless, and the MC clarified that it depended on their nature. With ashes from a burned talisman, the MC demonstrated his wind power, hoping to expose the hidden Ayakashi within Yahello. They discovered something beneath Yahello's feet. Yahello turned to see the MC, and he came to her rescue as she almost fell. A friend snapped a picture of the scene, comparing the MC to a ninja. Yahello apologized once more, and surprisingly, the MC apologized too, revealing that he had never had friends before. He expressed his desire to get to know them all better, and Yahello happily agreed. The four of them formed a close-knit group and became good friends. That night, Susan noticed a ritual taking place outside MC's house, where people were wielding swords and drums echoed in the air. MC's grandfather explained that it was the ritual of the dread, performed to stop Ayakashi's mischief and send them back to the mountain. He shared that most exorcists didn't believe all Ayakashi were malevolent, as they could be born from various sources, just like gods, nature, animals, and human thoughts and actions. Suzu thought to herself that the MC had never mentioned this before. The next day, MC and Suzu strolled through the school premises when an unexpected visitor arrived, Soga's bird, Ayakashi. The bird delivered a message to MC, summoning him to the backyard. Informed and intrigued, MC hurriedly informed Suzu that he would return shortly and made his way to the designated spot. Once there, Soga dropped a startling revelation on MC. Kanade Suzu was not just human but also an Ayakashi. Shocked and puzzled, MC couldn't help but wonder about the truth behind Suzu's identity. Soga elaborated that if she were to harm any human, she might become a target of exorcism, prompting MC's protective instincts to flare up. He even threatened to confront Soga physically, but the latter urged him to remain calm. insisting it was merely a possibility, not a certainty. However, MC firmly rejected the idea, believing that Suzu was not capable of such actions. After all, just look at her. She wouldn't hurt a fly, would she? Later that evening, Suzu was in the kitchen, crafting another batch of delicious dango. She reminisced about Shirogane tasting her previous creation and stating that he wouldn't want to eat her again due to its delectable nature. These thoughts sparked a desire in Suzu to find a way to revert MC to his human form. When her mother entered the kitchen and inquired about her culinary endeavors, Suzu shared her success, though she regretted not being able to offer any to her mother. Satisfied with her accomplishment, she went to bed but couldn't shake off the romantic movie she had watched earlier or the thoughts of MC from her mind. Meanwhile, MC struggled to sleep as well, preoccupied with the notions Soga had planted in his mind. He found it difficult to believe that Suzu could be an Ayakashi, knowing her and her family. Doubts clouded his mind until he eventually dismissed the idea as utterly ridiculous. Amid his uneasy slumber, MC awoke to find Suzu in his room, lying in his bed. Startled, he half-jokingly questioned if she was Shirogane in disguise. However, Suzu reassured him that it was indeed her and asked to take care of him. Without warning, she kissed him, leaving MC bewildered and questioning the authenticity of the event. He pushed her away and jumped off the bed, only to find her vanished from sight. It turned out that it had all been a dream for both Suzu and MC. Upon waking up, Suzu realized she had been dreaming about the encounter as well. As she pondered the surreal experience, MC called her, sharing an unsettling revelation. A figure resembling her had appeared in his room. MC's grandfather suggested that it might have been an Omokage shadow, an Ayakashi capable of creating clones. Or perhaps it was shadow clone jutsu. This intrigued Suzu, as she had previously heard about doppelgangers and their connections to stress and spiritual energy, Haku. She learned that fluctuations in Haku could lead to peculiar phenomena, possibly explaining the bizarre encounter. Listening to MC's description of the Omokage clone's actions, Suzu also became aware of a deeper connection between her and the clone. They were sharing senses, meaning that harm to one could be felt by the other. This revelation left them both feeling fearful and confused, with many unanswered questions lingering in their minds. MC, initially hesitant to reveal the full truth, mustered the courage to confess about the kiss, knowing that honesty was crucial. Suzu was taken aback by the revelation, unsure of how to react, torn between the strangeness of the situation and her feelings for MC. Nonetheless, she appreciated MC's sincerity and their mutual openness, though her awkwardness puts any other romance protagonist to shame. Suzu's wise and experienced grandfather intervened, advising them not to panic and providing guidance on the situation. This revelation marked the beginning of a mysterious and thrilling journey as they delved into the nature and implications of the spiritual connection between Suzu and the Omokage clone. Uncertainty lay ahead, but with the support of each other and their trusted allies, they resolved to unravel the truth and confront those mysteries. He explained that the key to severing the clone's link to the physical world might lie in the connection between Suzu and it. He suggested they could exploit this unique bond to their advantage and attempt to purify and banish the Omokage once and for all. With a sense of urgency and determination, MC left his home to search for the wandering entity, his heart pounding in his chest as he navigated the familiar streets, trying to figure out where it might have gone. Finding the Omokage was crucial, not just for Suzu's safety, but also for the sake of the profound connection they shared. Meanwhile, back at MC's home, his grandfather took up the task of maintaining communication with Suzu through the Turning Forks communications. This mystical device allowed them to exchange messages through vibrations, an ancient method passed down through generations in their family. Suzu sat nervously with MC's grandfather, anxiously awaiting any news about the Omokage. The thought of being connected to the entity in a way that could jeopardize her life worried her, but she understood that they had to find and deal with the Omokage to sever the connection for good. Through the Turning Forks communications, her voice trembled as she asked MC's grandfather about any signs of the Omokage location. He reassured her that they would do their best to locate it, and that MC was out searching for the entity at that very moment. As MC continued his search, his mind wandered back to the moment the Omokage had kissed him. The strange mix of emotions he felt at that time lingered in his thoughts. On one hand, it was a part of Suzu, but on the other hand, it was a separate entity. The complexity of the situation weighed heavily on him, but he knew that he had to face it head-on. After what felt like an eternity of searching, NC finally spotted a faint glowing figure in a secluded park. It was the Omokage, seemingly wandering aimlessly, unaware of its surroundings. Taking a deep breath, MC approached the entity cautiously, feeling the strange connection between them, a subtle link that he couldn't quite comprehend. As he got closer, the Omokage turned to face him, its eyes holding a glimmer of recognition. At the same time, MC's thoughts were filled with concern for Suzu's well-being. He believed that if he asked her directly, she might have some idea of where the Omokage could be. And so, through the Turning Forks communication, he asked her if she sensed anything that could hint at the entity's whereabouts. Suzu replied, expressing that she felt like she was walking barefoot on the streets, her soles tingling with an odd sensation. MC and Shirogane immediately rushed to her rescue, realizing that this sensation might be a clue leading them to the Omokage's location. Back on the school premises, Lu approached MC, asking if the game she used to play on her phone was called Switch On Yuji. MC was surprised that Lu knew about the game, a popular mobile game she had been enjoying lately. She wondered how Lu had come across it, as it wasn't widely known. Excitedly, they began discussing the game, sharing their favorite characters and strategies. It turned out that Lu was also a fan of anime and manga, and they bonded over their shared interests, exchanging recommendations for shows and series they loved. Lu admired MC's passion for gaming and anime, expressing that she had never met a girl who shared the same interests. Intrigued by Lu's enthusiasm, MC asked if she wanted to try playing Switch On Yuji together sometime. Wait, gamer girls exist in this world? Inwardly, MC corrected her assumption that only boys play games, pleasantly surprised to find a fellow female enthusiast. As their friendship deepened, MC, Suzu, Yahello, and the rest of their friends formed a close-knit group. They encouraged each other to participate in various activities, including sports and games, and learned from one another's strengths and weaknesses, making them better individuals and friends. The power of their friendship broke barriers and united them, proving that genuine connections transcend gender and societal expectations. As weeks passed, they continued to grow closer, supporting each other through challenges and celebrating their successes together. They discovered that true friendship knew no boundaries and that the strength of their bond was what truly mattered. With the combined efforts of the group, they felt more prepared than ever to confront the Omokage and break the malevolent connection that threatened Suzu's well-being. During physical education class, the group changed into their sportswear, and Yahello playfully teased MC for attempting to escape earlier. Laughter filled the air as they prepared for the day's physical activities, enjoying the camaraderie as they competed and cheered each other on. Later, Lu approached Suzu with a curious inquiry about something she had noticed on MC's stomach. Suzu became visibly nervous, fearing that Lu might have seen the transgender mark on MC's tummy. In response to Lu's initial remark about wanting to snap a picture, she quickly changed the subject, but Suzu couldn't help but raise her voice, cautioning against bringing phones to the locker room. Lu explained that she had indeed taken a picture, not of MC's transgender mark, but of the mysterious scroll positioned between his melons. Intrigued by the scroll's significance, Lu and Suzu decided to approach MC together after their classes to learn more. Finding MC sitting under a tree in the school courtyard, they approached him with a mix of excitement and hesitation, eager to uncover the truth behind the heirloom. With a warm smile, MC sensed their genuine interest and realized it was time to share his family's unique history with his friends. He began narrating the tale of his ancestors, skilled ninjas renowned for their bravery and loyalty. The scroll held within it valuable information about their ninja techniques and traditions, an ancient artifact passed down through generations. MC's family had a solemn duty to protect these secrets, ensuring they remained within the family and never fell into the wrong hands. Lu and Suzu listened in awe as MC painted a vivid picture of his ninja heritage, realizing that the scroll was not just a random mark on his tummy. It represented his family's legacy and the responsibility he carried with pride. As the group gathered with Shirogane, they addressed the seriousness of the situation concerning Lu's photo of the dangerous entity. Shirogane explained the potential consequences of capturing an icon Ayakashi in a photograph, as it could inadvertently bind one's spirit to the entity, posing harm to Lu and anyone who viewed the image. MC, concerned for Lu's safety, urged her to delete the photo immediately, emphasizing the need to prioritize their well-being over keeping a risky memento. It's similar to the thing all guys face with their 10-gigabyte homework folder, so I'd understand that too. Lu felt torn between her fascination with the paranormal and her friend's safety, but Suzu, being a loyal and caring friend, understood her struggle. Yayo decided that they should all go to a party. Lu said that sounds good since they are off the next day. Yayo suggested that they all go to a party to celebrate their free day. Lu loved the idea, and since she had a large house, she invited everyone over. They all agreed enthusiastically and made their way to Lu's house. As they arrived at Lu's place, they were amazed by its size and beautiful surroundings. Excitement filled the air as they prepared for a fun-filled party. Lu suggested that they relax and have a pool party in her backyard, as she had a large swimming pool. MC hesitated for a moment, feeling a bit uncomfortable with the idea of being in a bathing suit around his friends. But Yayo and Lu assured him that there was no pressure, and he could join the fun at his own pace. Yayo and Lu changed into their swimsuits and headed to the pool. They playfully splashed water at each other, laughing and enjoying the warm day. MC watched them, seeing how much fun they were having, and decided to join them. Yayo and Lu undressed themselves before bathing. MC told them that he would bathe later. Lu and Yayo ran to stop him. They told him that they were definitely bonding in the nude this time. They both undressed MC forcefully and pushed him into the water. When they finished bathing, Lu felt so weak, and they asked her what happened. She said she felt so weak suddenly. MC said she should make sure she conserves her energy. He told Lu that she should go to bed early tonight. Lu's sudden weakness raised concern among her friends. MC, being attuned to spiritual energies, sensed that something was amiss. He gently supported Lu as they made their way inside the house, ensuring she rested on a comfortable couch, probably bought from IKEA. See, IKEA? Look how easy it would be for you to sponsor us. I'll take care of her, MC assured the others. Let her rest, and I'll stay with her. Yayo and Suzu nodded in agreement, trusting MC's intuition and his abilities as an exorcist ninja. They decided to give Lu some space and headed to the living room to give her the quiet she needed. As Lu closed her eyes to rest, she found herself transported to a vast, eerie library with dim lighting and strange sounds echoing through its halls. Books lined the shelves, and she felt an overwhelming sense of curiosity mixed with fear. The atmosphere was filled with an otherworldly presence that sent chills down her spine. MC, still concerned for Lu's well-being, decided to use his spiritual abilities to help her. He sat cross-legged beside her and focused on his training as an exorcist. Closing his eyes, he connected with Lu's energy, trying to understand the source of her weakness and her strange vision. In the dream-like library, Lu felt an invisible force tugging at her energy, draining her strength. She stumbled upon a peculiar-looking book on one of the shelves. The book seemed to emanate an unsettling aura, and its title was written in an ancient script she couldn't comprehend. A very dangerous and scary Ayakashi came to her to terrify her. MC quickly suited up and came to her rescue in the spirit world. He gave her a pin to put in her mouth. He used his exorcist wine to blow the Ayakashi out, blasting it away like a level 100 player returning to a level 10 boss that used to give him trouble. She goes over to Lu and motions for her to place the wind wheel in her mouth, which enables them to basically drain it from her from the outside. Some fancy ninja exorcist art ensues, and some more banger combat music later. MC has saved Lu, eventually bringing her back to the real world. She tells them about her dream and remarks, "The ninja who saved her was really cool." MC realizes she's still a guy at heart, resolving once more to return to her previous form. Her friends comfort her, and thus the day ends on a positive note. Everyone's safe and sound, the bond between friends stronger than ever before. After all, if fairy tale taught me anything, it's that friends are the most valuable thing in the world. Elsewhere, a wandering artist who can see Ayakashi appears.